you find a place like that?
Yes,
Tell me about it.
it's a beautiful farm, countryside. This place exists in this life. It's my family has a farm in Brazil. So it's similar. It's very so quiet, so peaceful. Um, Rolling beautiful hills, the sunset, but so quiet and just the sounds of the birds, the cow. Um, yeah, it's the best.
Well, no
No,
worries. Yeah,
yeah,
no worries in a place like that.
no.
It's peaceful, where there are no worries and no problems.
Okay.
Are you coming off the cloud?
Yes.
What do you see down there below? Look around and see what you see around you.
Um, I see the dinosaur times, prehistoric
Wow.
everything.
Can you describe the vegetation?
Yes. So there's very interesting trees. For it looks like a palm tree, but it's different.
In
And
in
it
what way is it different?
it it's like the shape is it's just funny. It looks funny. It doesn't look like very straight. It looks very crooked and also
Mm.
very fat in the top, not the bottom. It's interesting. It's just it looks upside down, but it still has the same sort of leaves. It's just a different, different looking tree. Very unique.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And what else is going on there?
There's many plants, so it's almost like jungle, but I also see fire and I see like a cave of some fire,
Mm-hmm.
um, bones on the floor. Mm, Again, weird, different sort of rocks. They look like bones that have just been sitting there and then they become a rock. It's hard for me to describe it because it feels like maybe something I've seen in a book somewhere,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
history book, but it looks like fossils. It looks very, very interesting. The ground is very full of these unique rocks and bones.
Yeah. So
Um,
you're walking around and looking at what you see.
yes.
Is there something around you catching your eye?
I think the moon, it's at night, so I can see the fire
Mm-hmm.
because it's so dark and seems to be coming from within that cave-like area. But the moon is huge, like huge. So it's a huge moon, and as if the moon was closer to Earth at this time, but it moved away with time, but it was very close. So it was huge, huge, huge moon and stars nearby. I think that's what catches my eye the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you look at at your feet, what do you see?
Just bare feet. Something, it's not a shoe, but it's something covering my feet, like a, a feels like a costume of the cave people. It's something that they would put in their clothes. So I see it. It's hanging off my ankles.
And it's made of what?
It seems like it's made of feathers, string, cloth, but
Mm-hmm.
not really. It's a very unique sort of linen, but it's very, maybe it's leather and it's just leather that has gotten very old and just dry.
Okay.
It's crispy. It's very crispy.
Okay, so
I'm
it's not
laughing.
soft. It's not soft.
No, that's why it's not exactly clothes. It looks like hide, like cow, like not cow leather, but just like a leather.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
And you perceive you being male or female?
I feel male.
Mm-hmm. And are you carrying any tools with you or anything else?
In this instance, I feel I only have something tight around my waist.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's feels like a spear, something with sharp like point. So, but it's also unique. It's I would guess it's like a sharp weapon of the time.
Mm-hmm. So you have
Maybe bones, maybe made out of bones too. I'm not sure.
a sharp weapon that is tied to the waist.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
something
And
very yes. It's like something to protect. It has some pointy part to it.
all right, and as you move along, are you going someplace in particular? Are you joining other individuals?
I believe I'm going towards the cave
Mm-hmm.
to, but it's quiet. There's not many people, maybe two or three, one, two, three people max in there. And
Mm-hmm.
they're also like me, I think there's a baby maybe in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's more like I feel like I'm just checking in on them and watching outside at night
Mm-hmm.
with that spear just in case.
Yeah. So you're doing the watch at night,
Yes.
and there is a fire, so at the entrance of the cave.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so let's see as the day approaches what's going on now.
I This might sound crazy, but I feel like there's a lot of big creatures walking around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit tense. It's almost like we have to move around. I'm not sure for what, but there's some things that we're doing that we have to be very aware of the giant animals. Yeah. And they're gigantic. And
Mm.
I would maybe say like dinosaurs, but I actually feel like they don't look the way that people think they look. They're like
How do they look like?
so they look more reptilian. So they look more to be giant. I think the T-Rex is kind of correct from what I'm seeing, but it
Mm-hmm.
feels more lizard. It feels more if he wasn't standing up on two legs with two little arms. He he was just crawling around, very big lizard with really really big sharp teeth. So it looks. It's just I'm understanding that the people now have tried to recreate what they would look like, but they're still a bit off. They look very. much more like lizards, giant, huge, 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 probably bigger than they say, like huge. That's what I see.
Yeah, so
And
they are huge, and the only thing is that they don't stand on their hind leg. They
no, they crawl like a big lizard, but fat, big arms, big legs, big tail. It's to me, if you take a lizard that's out there in the garden today and you multiply it by 1 billion.
mm-hmm,
So it looks like that, like almost like as well, like crocodiles. I feel
mm-hmm,
crocodiles are actually very similar to what they look like.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and they're aggressive, so but in some weird way as well, it seems as though we can communicate with them in this era. I don't know how, telepathically, I don't know, but they're just very aggressive and they're
Mm-hmm.
territorial. So we have to sort of avoid them in this.
So you can just say to them, "Oh, we're just passing by. We're not."
Yes, yes. Very interestingly, you can speak to them. You can let
And
them
when
know.
and if they know that you're just passing by, they leave you alone.
So they the problem is that they're not predictable. So sometimes they'll leave you alone, and sometimes they will attack you, or
Mm-hmm.
you have
And
to sort of convince them in some ways. Yeah, it's not easy.
so they are unpredictable. And how people like you can defend themselves against such huge animals.
So there's first order of defense is in explaining to them that we are peaceful and that we are not here to take their land or anything like this, but they're just aggressive. So if they become aggressive, then you have to use force, and you actually have to, come with the spear, or just stab them multiple times, and then
Mm-hmm.
they will, if they're wounded enough, then they run away, they scurry away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not an easy time period, and I just keep hearing that the historians have it a bit wrong. That's what I hear. Because
Yeah.
it's just different. And there was a lot of telepathy going on at the time.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that you're telling me that the humans and dinosaur were sharing the same land. It's
Correct.
not like they were before.
Exactly. We were inhibiting the same land, and
Yes.
they could speak. They have like telepathic communication.
There was
Um,
language, there was
there was
communication,
language, yes. So,
but
but
telepathic
again,
language. So,
yes, yes, telepathic language, cosmic language of I am a species and you are a species.
mhm,
And I feel that they felt that we did invade what was theirs, but
mm,
actually, I believe maybe they actually invaded it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who came first, but we were both there at the same time in this remembrance.
mhm. Yeah. So,
So, but yeah, it was not easy, and I feel like every day was a bit of a challenge to
mhm.
survive.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
So let's move to an important time in the life of this individual when something is happening. Can you tell me about it?
Yes. Um, Crazy. So in the skies, I see a battle of it's almost like a cosmic battle, like Star Wars, like happening above in the sky, but
Mm-hmm.
it becomes extremely warlike and it almost I 100% see spaceships, I see them, and
Mm-hmm.
they appeared to this time period was tough. It was a war between two species. And those lizard like reptile beings were fighting against it, and it just turned they did not understand that it could be peaceful. And so this day was very, very dark and very
So there was a reptilian species against what?
the against whoever these beings were in the spaceships. They were feels like similar to me in that life. So
So the reptilians on the land, on the ground.
yes, so they were on the ground, and there was, I think, some sort of contact trying to be peace treaty, but it
Mm.
didn't work. It did not work in this life between.
Okay. And the reptilians on the ground had had also they were also advanced technologically.
They were, but they were. So I see a base. I see there's also different kinds of the they maybe the reptile beings that I was describing before, the giant dinosaur like.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think those were created. I think those were almost created by said the real the real
So they might have been like some
reptilian.
kind of pets.
Yes, they were like very scared. Exactly, they were their weapons of choice, and there was like pets
Yeah.
and uh,
So the dinosaurs were created by by the reptilians.
that's what I'm seeing. Yes, and uh, I just see like this underground sort of looking base where that's where they inhabited, and they have extreme intelligence and have been
Okay.
there for many years or
Yeah.
however. Yeah.
So so those reptilians were the inhabitants of the earth millions of years ago.
Yes.
And so they feel like the earth belonged to them.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And then comes those beings in spaceships. Well, you
Right.
are a primitive creature on Earth,
Right.
a
Right.
humanoid, primitive humanoid. And who put you your species on?
Them. Them.
The who
That's where I
the
feel
reptilians or the other
no,
being?
the ones
The ones in
above.
the ones in the spaceships. So they were defending their creatures
Yes.
against the creatures
Yes.
of the
Yes.
reptilians. So that's why there was a territorial battle between.
Extreme. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And the problem was that they did not understand the concept of sharing. I'm
Ah,
laughing
okay.
because that was funny because of what they show me, that they don't have empathy in any sense, and so it just became a very ugly battle of
Mm,
yeah, there was
yeah,
no peace treaty to be made
yeah.
there.
So there was there were there. So the negotiations you were talking about,
Right.
they were what? They were attempted
They
or not
they
attempted? Or,
they were attempted, but it failed. In
mm,
some ways, it was only successful because we in this lifetime seem to have pushed them out, but they never disappeared. They never went back to where they come from. All we could do in this life was sort of push them into certain uh
you, you're talking about the modern life of Karina? The
no, I feel like this is there at well,
Oh, so you're talking about the time of the prehistoric times.
yes, yes. So I'm talking
So there was already an effort to clean up the earth from these reptile
yes.
beings.
And I
Okay.
believe that the quote an extinction was not a meteor. It was just that though that time period was when peace treaties were trying to be made and they were
Mm,
resisting everything and at every turn, and so it became like atomic wars, um
okay.
physical.
So they were like big weapons being used.
Right, right,
Uh-huh. And
right.
so you're telling me that it was not an asteroid that hit the Earth for
No,
the extension of the dinosaurs.
no, it
Uh,
was it was it began the dinosaurs were like pets. That's
mhm.
the best way to put it.
They were just the pets of the
They were
reptilians.
created. They were created in like laboratories. Yeah. They're
They were
they're
created in labs. Oh, okay. But created as organic beings or created as
it was for their agenda. It was good for them to have uh aggressive creatures
mm-hmm.
to defend against it's part of their agenda,
Oh,
and
to maintain territory.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
the dinosaurs were very much like as if you breed a dog with another dog and then you have more
Yeah.
dogs, and then you have a dog who can grow to protect you, you train it, and yeah, it's some things
Yeah.
like this.
So they we see from the fossils and whatever is left behind, we see different type of
Yes,
species of dinosaurs. So
right.
so how come they made dinosaurs that were less aggressive?
So there were other creatures already,
Mm,
big ones, but they were not aggressive. They were not.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the big herbivore ones.
Yes, like those and the birds, they were not aggressive, and that they lived in harmony with the land. But
Okay.
these beings, the darker race, they said, well, let's take the DNA, let's create aggressive versions, the ones that became carnivorous, and because I think eating meat was not normal, and so they said, okay, we're going to create them to become destroyers of whatever we need. So they created the really aggressive types, and they were big. They were bigger than the herbivores. What I'm seeing.
So they
Be
hybridized big
correct.
creatures to make them aggressive.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
So
That's what I.
so what are the other marks on Earth of what happened at this time that was actually not an
The uh,
asteroid?
a lot of the mountains that are like I see like craters. If anywhere you go, there is like a big crater in the
Mm,
or
mm-hmm.
even in the ocean because we can't see.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot from that time period. It's like
Oh, so all big craters.
all the
Uh,
any uh like a depression, right? Like extreme depression in the geography, many mountains as well. I'm also seeing like cenotes, like those the depressions, anything that went down because there was extreme weapons that had to be fired from our side from above straight down, and so it creates like a it just pushes all, it's an explosion downward, so anything down. um
Uh-huh. So what about the Grand
Trenches.
Canyon, the Grand Canyon and
Yes, exactly, like
uh-huh.
anything with trenches like that.
It was
um
so you're telling me it's like a cut through with some
yes,
kind of energy weapon?
exactly, sure, yeah,
Mm,
like it's an extremely powerful, it's something we've never seen before here
yeah.
in modern life.
Uh-huh.
It's like little like I'm going to say lasers, but it's
Yeah.
so strong.
Uh-huh. So like a
And
laser weapon cutting through the earth.
yes, yeah, because they're showing me that what I see is it comes straight down like this, like
Uh-huh. It's like
it's just,
yeah. Why
yeah,
is
that's
it
how I
that
see.
why is it that they hit there? Because is it because they were concentrated there or they knew that they were living there?
I I think they were everywhere. I think that's
Uh-huh.
why there's so many different parts of the world with
Mm-hmm.
the craters. And it's so interesting because I
What
feel like,
happened in the Sahara? What happened in the Sahara Desert?
oh, oh, I feel like that was not like that before. It was different.
Mm-hmm.
The Sahara, the Sahara, because it's near Africa, kind of. Like I see that it was more of like very lush, like Africa.
Africa was a
Um,
very lush territory, right?
yes. And I'm not sure in this life, in the one we're speaking of in the prehistoric time where I was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's because they're saying that back then, even the continents were not separated. So
It was one big continent?
it was like one thing that's really difficult for me to kind of tell you where I was, because let's say I tell you I was in Brazil, but at the time Brazil was fused with uh, Alaska. Like, so I don't know, I wouldn't be able to be
Yeah. So there was
specific.
one land and the rest was water?
Exactly.
Okay. So one big land of
Yeah, it
all.
was one huge, giant, vast land. Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
uh, and so, but these beings were everywhere. It was almost like I hear the word infestation. It was like an ant infestation. So there was a lot that needed to be
Yeah. And
uh
and the primitives that were habiting, so they were sort of implanted too, right?
correct. They were not okay. This is interesting. I see that also the Darwinism theory is like not correct, because all the way, because we didn't evolve like that through time, all
Yeah.
time. No, it
Uh,
was but there was something within like the monkey, this the same thing that they did with the dinosaurs to make the
yeah,
lizard.
yeah.
They did it
It's
for
a
the humans. Yes.
yes. So
But with
that's
monkeys and yeah,
yeah.
other things.
So they were hybridizing and getting some from apes and some
Yes,
from advanced species, and they would
exactly.
create that human species, right?
100%. So
Okay.
we did look a little bit like monkey looking. Like I do believe the anthropology is not too off.
So
But the
they
thing
try
is,
different strands because you have different kinds. When you go
yes,
to a prehistoric section of a museum, you have so many different
yes,
Australopithecus, and you have like the all different species, like from the Neanderthal, from the
yes, yes.
yeah,
It's
the sapiens, and different kinds. So they must have tried many different ways.
they did.
Uh-huh. And how
And
did
I
they
feel
fix
I
on
also
one? How did they figure out which one was going to go?
I think it was the survival of the fittest, sort of, and they felt
So
like,
that's the Darwin piece that works.
yes, yes, that's the piece that works, which is, it's just, it's because people, what I feel that's wrong is this idea that it took so long, because it didn't. And they were actively adjusting immediately. And I also think when you said what made them become one, it was just the smartest one. It was the ones with the most intelligence. Like, and
Yeah,
I believe we were much more intelligent as well than they say. Like, I don't think that we were,
yeah. You
I
cannot
can,
judge on the looks.
no, you cannot.
Yeah,
So
because you were telling me that they were
they were
telepathic. So,
telepathic.
so
And we were listening to all of like, I think there was a communication between the ships, even though, of course, as I see myself in this life, I'm a Neanderthal, and I'm confused a bit when I look up and I see this, thing, this spaceship or whatever. But I still know and I respect that spaceship, and because there's some sort of a communication that comes where they will leave us instructions for things. So it's
mm,
very
they
respectful relationship.
so they teach. They're a little bit like gods.
Yes. And
Uh-huh.
so we respect them, but of course, I still feel my perspective in this life is just, sometimes I would get afraid, sometimes I wouldn't because I'm a human, and
Yeah,
I have this amygdala brain,
yeah.
like,
So it's more of like a midbrain.
yeah,
The brain is not the brain of the modern man.
correct. It
Uh-huh.
was a, I think that's what makes people feel that the cave men, women were very simple monkey animals, but because we had that there, but there was also a lot of compassion. We had a lot of, we were learning compassion as well. We were learning to take care of each other. We were learning so many things. It was very
Mm.
cool time. It's actually a very cool time to be alive, except for the crazy
Dinosaurs.
creatures and dinosaurs. Yeah, the ones with the teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. So birds were not so aggressive.
No, nope, because they would eat. I don't even see fish in this life. I see these other, like,
Well,
seaweed. There was a different sort of food
yeah.
for them.
Yeah, but if there was only one land, it was only
Right,
the ocean was only at the periphery of the land. So,
right. But
yeah.
I feel they could explore. I don't know.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were,
So there was nothing such as velociraptor
no, nothing on the 2 feet.
and pterodactyl, the ones that
That's a bit more like the birds, but they were more peaceful, the pterodactyl. Unless maybe they could have been one that they hybridized as well to be more
uh-huh.
aggressive.
Yeah,
But
because the pterodactyl is described as a
yes,
carnivore.
yeah, could be.
Yeah.
But I feel that the ones that stick out the most, okay, the ones that are on all fours, and they have the lizard tail, the dinosaur tail, and then they have a face. They look like a lizard. It looks like a lizard, the ones that are on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you more precisely that that's actually the correct bone. That's the correct skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's the one
but
that
they
you
were
said that they were like T-Rex.
right. That's the T-Rex. It's actually on all fours, and but
So why do they say that they had short hands, short arms?
I think, no, not I think. I know it's because politics of, I see, I think they try to conceal themselves a lot. This they love because it's information that the public is consuming, it's they sort of have to change it a bit to
So it's manicured. It's
it's
my
manicured.
But
Yeah.
from the modern times or from the old times?
From the times where they started to manipulate a lot of information. So
When was that?
I I see, okay, I'm really bad with years, but I'm seeing it when maybe it's 1800s is what I'm seeing. 1800s, like
Okay.
where you had like the witch doctors and that era, whatever that era is when manu old manuscripts that were hidden in uh, monasteries and places where people would study that's when things got very incorrect. That was everything started to be rewritten, and then they would force people to
Mm,
write what they
yeah.
want.
So that's in the
So
1800s,
I think so, 1800s, like
like the 19th century. So it's fairly recent, actually.
yes. And here's
Hmm.
the thing is that they kept some of the information, most of the information, but it's twisted around because and I'm trying to figure out about the T-Rex why. Why?
Yeah.
But I think it's because it's so that it can become a little bit more light and silly and fantastical. Dragons I think were real, but then they make it like fantastical.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So
you know,
yeah, and the dragons they have wings, right?
correct. So they were
Okay.
essentially from that, I believe, from that period as well. But
Uh-huh.
I feel that they actually outlived most because they could fly away. So
Yeah.
they
And
were able to,
are they related to the Draco reptilians?
yes,
Because I don't
yes,
know, but the Dracos are described as reptilians with little wings.
yes.
Uh-huh.
But
And when you see a
yes,
dragon in mythology, it's represented with little wings.
yes. No, it has
So
wings for
it
sure.
has
And
wings.
it's,
So I'm just wondering, oh, dragon with wings and Draco reptilians with wings, are they
yes.
related?
And that, if you think about it, this is where it all connects because it had to become mythical, mystical, and question marks. It couldn't be, they needed it to not sound so provable. And
Uh-huh.
so I see them when they found the dinosaurs, they found it the way that it was, but then they
Mhm.
moved the bones around and then claimed that that's how it was. And so
Mhm.
they took the head of one, put it on the other one. I just see a lot of, it's a lot of
Also,
misinformation.
they did a puzzle and created the different kinds.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then they said, but we'll never know. We don't know. Oh, we don't
Yeah,
know. So it
yeah.
became
So you have this, and now you are there, and you can see with your own eyes.
my own eyes.
Yeah, so you can tell now what's true and what's not.
Yes.
And
And
that's quite amazing.
I'm fascinated because I can feel the truth of this life. And I
Hmm.
feel that maybe this life came to me to remind me that this has been the war of
The original lie.
exactly. And
The
the what I'm seeing is like the dinosaurs were just like they say, oh, back in the, whatever it was era, the dinosaurs ruled the earth. And it's almost like my higher self is laughing because no, no, the dinosaurs did not rule the earth.
they were
Um,
just the pets of the other ones.
yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. All
They sort
right.
of there's a pinning of yeah, a lot of there's just a lot of secrecy, a lot of hiding happens.
So, yeah, that's an interesting perception. And is there more you need to you let's explore a little bit more. Let's move on to
Sure.
another important day in the life of this man of these times and see what's happening. What do you see?
Okay, this is so random, but somehow we came to the water.
Mm.
So
The water, the ocean, not the
The
river.
ocean, yes, the
Yeah.
ocean.
Okay. So now you're gonna
Um,
see what's in the ocean then.
yeah, because I feel that it was like some sort of between in the cultures of what we were, it was like if you can reach the ocean, you will be blessed or something like this. So we were able to reach the ocean. I think that's what I'm feeling is like, wow.
That was the quest of the walking and going through the lands.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And
So the
I,
quest was to
yeah,
reach the ocean.
to reach the ocean for probably for better life. I feel that we knew and had this information that the ocean had better living uh situations, I guess. We
Really?
yeah,
Is
like
it
we could sort of settle somehow more.
by the water?
Yeah, interesting.
And how's the weather?
It's different. Can feel it more like a beach. Like it feels
Mm.
more as if like a rocky beach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's like jungle, but it sort of becomes this like a, but it's a beach. It's not like a five-star resort beach. Like it's very ugly, but it's like very rock and um
Yeah, it's
I
more
just
wild.
see
It's more wild with rocks and
it's different, but there's actually I see maybe more vegetation,
mm-hmm.
better vegetation and things growing on the sides of the like on the shore line, it's interesting. I've never seen anything like that in this life.
Mm-hmm. So it's different from mangrove.
It's different from mangrove. No, no, this is like I'm looking at the ocean. It was just, but there was also mountains look like volcanoes around.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a different, it was very, it's hard to describe because the plants look so weird.
And now that you're settled by the ocean, what are you learning that you didn't know about?
We're learning about the sun. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I feel like we came out of like cold areas and we were always freezing cold. And now there's this, I feel I'm more towards the end of my life in
Mm.
this life. But I said, I'm so happy that I saw the ocean, that I'm, that we're now warm by there was just more sun. There was more sun. There was open space. It wasn't
Mm.
so
Dark.
cold and dark and damp. I think
Uh-huh.
damp is the word.
Oh,
Um,
so
yeah.
like a vegetable, like a climate. It was a temperate climate jungle.
Yes. So then we
Okay. Yeah.
exactly.
It
So then
would
it
be
just
more like British Columbia, like Vancouver, like
yes, like a
uh-huh.
Vancouver.
So now you're more in the tropics.
Exactly. And it was like a journey.
Mhm.
So, but we had help along the way. Um, but we made it. But I just do feel that I'm old and
What kind of help?
these they would send instructions
Uh,
always. So it was almost like I feel they would place things in certain like okay, if we come across this, we're on the right path. Like keep following until you see this and this. And we just kept going. We again, that's where I'm starting to say I don't think we were that stupid. Like it was like very intricate journey.
yeah. So you
Um
could feed yourself on the way.
yes, or even weapons and but the one thing that I do feel is that we also suffered many things like on the way and people didn't make it.
Were you a big tribe
Sort of,
walking?
sort of. But I
Mm.
feel me and two more or three more with a baby being maybe the third was like my
Your family. Your
yes,
yeah.
my family, my group, but we had a bigger group. Um,
But everybody left. Everybody
e-
moved.
everybody went together because we had to sort of migrate,
Mm-hmm.
like a migration.
Yeah.
um, I think because we were told in some ways that we weren't going to make it where we were. We had
Uh,
to
uh-huh.
move.
And they keep them busy, the other ones, with the fights from the sky
Exactly.
so that you guys could move forward.
Probably. So
And
we
yeah,
made it.
what did you in this lifetime, did you discover more about the life of in the ocean?
I actually feel that what fascinated me the most was the vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
I was fascinated by being like a gatherer. Uh,
Yeah.
you know how we have hunter gatherer. I was just like, I don't want to hunt. I don't want to do anything. I just want to gather. And so I would just gather and observe the flowers and make some remedies. And but the ocean was very calm. I don't feel it was a still. It was so still, and it
I
was
was
so
still.
peaceful.
There was
Yeah.
no waves. No waves.
No, it was like a bay. You know when you have like a crater,
Yeah.
like
And
Hawaii, like
yeah,
how
and
it's like a bay. Yeah.
yeah, and no creatures from
No
the.
creatures. Mm,
Did you
maybe
discover fish?
so that's what I don't think that they were fish. I think there was other type of creature within there that because I don't see us fishing. I don't
Mm.
see
So you didn't learn to go fishing in the water.
no, but what I see, this is so specific, is the seaweed. It looks like
Yeah.
seaweed.
Yeah.
That would
You
feed
cultivate you
everyone.
so
Yeah.
you cultivated seaweed from the ocean.
No, and so we would go in, but not too far. Nobody went too far. So we would
Yeah.
go
Yeah, the
in.
seaweed, the kelp around the shore, the kelp or any type of seaweed that would grow
Yes.
near the shore. Okay,
That
so you.
was that was precious to us because it could do so many things with the seaweed and it would
Uh,
feed and we knew how healthy we were all becoming with the seaweed, magic seaweed. But
uh-huh.
yes,
So is the seaweed now the same that the seaweed then?
a bit, I feel it's a bit back then it was thicker, it was bigger, it was like you could wrap it around your legs.
Mm,
And it would like soothe your legs. It was that big. You could wrap
mm,
it.
mm,
I
yeah.
think nowadays the seaweed is just a little bit weaker.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, I don't know, maybe I haven't
Yeah.
seen the
Well,
one.
they are forests of kelps. They are
Yes.
forests that they are long like this,
Yeah.
but we usually don't go there.
I see it like lots of plants like inside the water. So
Yeah, so they're
that was
different, different plants.
it was
Like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But there
like
were big
like,
leaves.
yeah, like they were big leaves. Okay, because there is kelp, there is chlorella, there is
Yes,
spirulina that they use, that you could use. But of course, now they tend to make everything powder and capsules, and rather
exactly.
than making it poultice
Yes.
or put it in your soup. It's
Yes, yes.
yeah,
And that's
people are not used to that.
no, but there's something very special about that for me in that life where I loved waking up. I was actually very happy as I was dying. I was like, this is the best. I kept saying, we make it to the ocean. We're seeing it. Like it's real,
Yeah.
you
But
know,
would you
in our
say it as a
telepathic way.
yeah, say
Yeah.
it so you would not use verbal
No,
language. It was
no.
all telepathic, so you could communicate with any species, even if it was a
Correct.
different. Yeah.
Correct. So
So so
we were always speaking. It was not like primitive language, it was
yeah, it
very
was yeah, so it was telepathic language.
yes.
Interesting. Is there anything else you need to learn from this life or as you're approaching the last day of your life?
I feel that two or three things that I, Karina, modern life, need to take
Mm-hmm.
from this one. Number
Yeah.
one, basically, most things that they teach us are a lie. And
Yeah.
I love that I saw a real dinosaur, like a real dinosaur. So that was precious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're scary. So I'm very, very happy that I get to see as well that this whole war of races is real, 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 real. That is actually how, that is the real explanation that maybe deep down I've always wondered, why are we here? How did Earth become this? Like, why are there people like this? And why
So,
is this
so the war between the reptilians and the humans,
right? Exactly.
the humans
There's,
as us, like the
yes,
Homo sapiens sapiens, it's
yes,
something that has been going on for a long time, but it started in the cosmos. That's as you said.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because, and I feel that what's really and it was nice to connect to see that they just don't, they're lacking empathy, like they're lacking empathy. So that makes it completely difficult to make peace. Like I feel like in other worlds and other races, there's an ability to be diplomatic, but
Mm-hmm.
not with them. And so with them, it's had to be like lasers and
Yeah.
destruction. And so I think that that gives me peace in this life to know that
Uh-huh.
we're
Yeah,
just,
because that's what I was gonna ask you is that now that this life, because you could be now past this life and learn what was the purpose of this life, and look back at the life and what you learned from it, then
yeah.
then
I,
when you just passed away, when you just
yeah,
transition. So
it feels very much that I was given the origin stories, that
mm-hmm.
truth. Also
Yeah,
to know that I was there, that's so cool. And um, there's a lot of also small details that I'm just taking in and I'm saying, oh, that explains that because I like to know, I love to understand. And the awakening for me was always like, am I crazy? At some moments you just wonder for a second if you're going crazy. But to me, I feel like I have that truth for myself now. And
yeah.
um, the
And did
other
you see
thing,
any creatures from the ocean? I mean, humanoid creatures from the ocean?
no, I don't know.
There was
Um,
only the ones living on the land?
let me settle back into that land. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the answer is no because we were in an area that was just shallow. It was too
Yeah.
shallow.
Yeah.
So if we could have explored it, maybe we would have found some very interesting things. But they're just showing me that it was just we were living life on the shoreline and we
Yeah.
couldn't swim. So we we could not swim. That was something that was a big thing as well.
They
And
didn't teach you. They didn't teach you the
no,
people.
no, they said that yeah, it's just don't go in there. And I felt that that was like a rule we all knew.
Mm.
Um,
Okay. So
uh,
maybe there's more beyond the bay.
there is beyond, and it's almost like I wish I could have explored, but at the same time, I feel that in that life, I was like, I've seen enough. Like I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Yes. So the end, how was the end of your life?
I see everyone around. The sun was very strong on this day, beautiful, bright sun. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was dying. I said, it's my time to go. Uh, I would like everyone to surround me and just send me away. And
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that baby was my daughter. So
Mm.
she was maybe like 11, 12, or something like that, 13, 14. And so she was just, I just remember her like
Mm-hmm.
next to me more than I remember anybody else.
So you were not that old.
Probably not. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand why I was dying. I think I think it was just something biological. Like I just knew. I
Mm,
said, I think I'm just there's something. Maybe I had a sickness, like something, and
yeah.
it just went. It just went. It was very
Mm-hmm.
fast.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
so when you reach the other side, uh,
Hmm.
what from that other side, you can look back at the entire life and see it from a different perspective. So now you're on the
Mm.
afterlife. So how is it?
It's cool. I feel like I knew that souls needed to volunteer to come in. And
Mm,
I knew, I said, I'm put me in, like I'm going.
yeah.
And so I could
Yeah.
almost see the pioneering because it was like a pioneering life. I we had to make it from one place to another. So I'm
Uh-huh.
seeing how
So when you
I
transition, did you go back to some other life or did you, was
I
it?
feel like I'm somewhere like not another life. It feels like I'm back to myself. It feels like I'm
Now, what is yourself? What kind
me.
of existence?
So again, it feels masculine. It actually feels like I'm somewhere like, oh, this is hard to explain, but it feels like it feels as real as it feels like I'm right here in this like room.
Yes.
It's like I'm in
S-
a room. You
So
know?
it's as if the afterlife was going back home to your true self.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And your true self
Which
is masculine, is male.
it's it feels so male. It feels
From
so
this prehistoric time, your true
yeah.
self is male.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
still.
And is it like a physical life? Is it like uh can do you
It
know where it
it
is?
I think it's a transitional state is what
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think because now it sort of feels like I'm floating above the prehistoric life. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it as if I'm looking at like a map on the floor. So I'm seeing
Yeah.
it from this, let's review, right? This
Yeah.
review. So but it's just I'm not sure where I am because it's just a room, but it feels like a room with a chair. Like it's just like a
Yeah,
room.
it's you're in a room. It's not
Yeah.
like you're not immaterial.
No, I'm in a room and
Yeah.
maybe there's someone with me. I don't It's hard to explain it, but it now it feels like the prehistoric life was just a movie, let's say.
Yeah.
And so now
Yeah.
I'm
Or like
watching the movie.
yeah, it's like when you go on a dream and you dream something else and you're just coming
Exactly. It's like an
and
inception.
so you just wake up. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I just woke up and I specifically also see the focus on the daughter, my daughter, and
Mm-hmm.
I just I'm like, okay, now I get to help her because I can see from above. I can see it's like I see it like a like a chessboard. Like I can see
Yeah. Yeah. You
the
have a view.
danger. I can see the danger coming over there. So we can, there's time to assist. And I was excited that I would be able to help the village continue to grow from
Oh, so you would
above.
be like you would be like a guide from above.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Very specifically for her. I felt like
Yeah.
maybe once she passed and then I could move on.
Uh-huh.
But for her,
So so you were her a guide or a spiritual guide.
yes.
Uh-huh. And
So
how long? So
I
you
just
did that
stayed
for a
there.
while. Oh yeah, so you stayed there and you stayed being the guide of of your daughter in that past life.
Yes.
And how did that work? Did you can you
It
have
was
highlights
cool.
that come to you?
I feel like I mean, it's so curious. I'm not sure how I was able to influence, but because you see it, from above, like a hologram, like above. You see all of the possible, you see a lot of especially the most important thing, I think, is keeping her away from danger. And
Mm-hmm.
so I said, okay, I'm not here to influence her. I'm not here to force her to do anything. She has her own mission. She has her own thing. But I do have to keep her safe from danger, like of specifically the dinosaur things and all of that. And
Oh, they
maybe
followed them. They followed them to
the
the beach.
well, because there was so much. What I see is like they're here and then it's quite safe. But let's say over here, things start to escalate really bad. And then they start to push and migrate this way,
Mm,
you
yeah.
know, it could end up that then they would be facing the same problem. So we had to make sure to allow the humanoid people their time that they needed to procreate, you know, uh, establish, grow, begin to learn about like paper and all of that stuff. And then here you had to keep the chaos on one side. And that's where the dinosaurs got wiped out thing. Like it's like all right there. I'm seeing it.
So they could wipe out the dinosaur without affecting the humans that were living at the same time.
Exactly. So an asteroid didn't hit Earth and then cause because that would have caused cataclysmic. It would have everyone would have died. Everyone, which
Mm,
is what they say, right? Everyone died.
yeah.
And then an ice age happened or whatever.
Is
And
that is that is
but
that? Do you
that's
see the ice
all.
age? Do you see the ice age?
There was an ice age, but it's
Mm-hmm.
different. Also
Yeah.
different.
In what sense?
um the ice age was before all of this. Before.
And
Um
what about the separation of the lands
the separation of the lands are
in
after.
continents? That
So
comes after.
that was they're saying that you could blame time, quote unquote. That is right because the natural gravity,
Mm,
but it had
mm,
nothing. I just feel that they want me to really the truth tellers. It was
mm-hmm.
about the Earth has natural processes.
Mm-hmm.
The tectonic plates move. That's
Yeah.
part of Earth. But the event with the dinosaurs was actually so fantastic because they were able to kill off and wipe off what was terrorizing Earth itself. So it was actually fantastic, is what I'm seeing is like, and it didn't obliterate Earth, and that wasn't what caused everything. That was just an event that wasn't even a meteor. It was the laser situation, the higher intelligence things
And
that
so, what happened to the reptile beings that lived on the ground?
exactly. So that's where it gets complicated, apparently, because what I see, dinosaurs, the ones that were on land because they were so big, gone, gone, just
Mm-hmm.
all gone. Truly, they were
Yeah.
obliterated. Um, and the bases were obliterated. So the wherever these under sneaky operatives were, their bases were obliterated. But this is where, unfortunately, they were not able to eradicate everything. But
Mm-hmm.
there were some that were able to escape and they went further inside. That's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing. They just went more in. And so that makes it difficult, just another
Yeah. But
level of difficulty.
how do they manage to keep them underground and not
Oh,
coming back to the surface?
so that's here's what's cool. The good news is the good news was we had to show them that we were when the peace treaty did not happen, when that didn't work, We had
Yeah.
to then play their game because there was no other way that they could respond. So we needed to, we played their, they said, okay, well, now we're going to show you just how powerful we are. And so that's when the obliteration happened and they destroyed everything. And then, but the reptilian darker beings were prepared for if that happened. So that's how they had already had everything prepared to go down even further. Now, they're very afraid. This is a good thing. They're afraid of the light forces and the power, the physical, the advanced technology, the unity that is most of the races. So we have a big advantage here. But
Mm.
now they're starting to have to come up. I don't know why. I don't know if like there's something to do with the center of the earth, like the core. I don't, there's just something, things are going very wrong under there. So it's difficult for me to tell you. What was the question again? It was what?
How do they prevent them from surfacing?
Yeah. So we don't have to prevent. They chose to stay down there. That was like that's what I saw, is
Mm-hmm.
that they said, okay, you guys will be up there, we will be down here though. And it just became increasingly more difficult for
Yes, but reptilians, they feel more comfortable on the ground, right?
exactly, like then a new sort of problem arise, which was they completely dominated this insane underground structure because they're very, very, very advanced. They are. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but now there's something happening now. So all is correct. All is in divine plan of how to further eliminate the rest of them, really, because it's a sort of like the rest of them, it's like a cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
there's we just need to bring it up to the surface. And it's just, but it's also now different games, it's more frequency, it's very interesting, and it's actually more complicated. I feel like we could be here for 20 hours me explaining that, but there uh that life was important for us to learn some new things. And
Oh, mm-hmm. So now what we
very
can
well.
do is we can move on and
Yeah,
move away from that life and go to
again,
another important time, to move on to, we can move backward or forward to any
perfect.
other um, life or situation we want to explore that would help answer, give information to Karina about what she needs to know today. So
Yes.
let's jump and take back the ride, leaving this existence behind and move on to a new exploration. You are now
Let's
at
go.
another time and place. So, what do you see? What's happening?
Okay. So it's a bit foggy, but now there's like it's a different time period. Um forward in time, forward, but forward in time. Okay. It's a You remember we were talking about the 1800s? I
Yes.
feel like I touched down in the 1800s. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's exactly where I went because I see this European, I'm in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
100%, 100%. And I just see like a town square and people, like festival happening. That's what I see.
Mm-hmm. A town square with a festival. Okay.
Yes.
And can you describe the scene a little bit more in detail?
Yes. it feels like because Europe has those old buildings and they're very, so it was just the most typical European scene ever. Like there's the plaza, it's a giant, huge square, the town square. There's like a town festival. So there's a bunch of crazy like people. Oh, it's just like chaotic. There's like a
Mm-hmm.
stage, little scaffold stage for people, the announcers or what, or if people, someone was getting guillotined. Like it was, there was just a lot going on. It was very chaotic, very, very, very chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where I am because I'm still like, it's just like I look to the,
Maybe you can listen and see if you hear the language.
oh, okay, French, for
Mm-hmm.
sure,
All
for
right.
sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
And now
It's,
that
yeah,
you are in
yeah.
France, look at the landmarks. Do you recognize any landmarks of France?
No, but I recognize, I don't think they're headland marks. I think this is still very old. Like I think this is when I just see,
Before Osman times?
yes,
Uh-huh. So it's the beginning of the 1800s.
yes. Like the very
Uh-huh.
beginning. Like this is
Yeah.
like,
Like Napoleon times.
yeah,
Uh-huh. That's before they remodeled everything
yes. It
in
was like
Paris.
still very old and like smelly and everything's very
Yeah, no
tight.
sewage, nothing. Yeah. All the
Like I
small streets, tight
this
streets.
that's what I see. It's tight, 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 and then but then there's a big opening, like a plaza. Like thank God. So
Yeah.
everyone is trying to be there and be like, okay,
Uh,
to breathe.
yeah, a big plaza and before uh, m- modern, I mean, before modern constructions of the
Yes,
18th century, 19th
yes,
century.
yes,
Uh-huh. So a lot of things in wood.
yes, yes, yes. That's where I was trying to understand if I mean the
Uh-huh.
buildings seem like stone, but they're also I also thought maybe they were just really dark wood, like old. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's very interesting, but it's just very dark.
Yes, it looks very different than the stones that you see now.
Yeah, it everything is just very dark, dark colors. It's just
Yeah,
so
like
it's different.
yeah. And so you're in that plaza, and what's going on now? If you pay a little bit close attention, what do you see?
There's like a riot, like
Mm-hmm.
a resistance or something, like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are there and they're there to resist, but then it becomes a little bit of a festival. So people are like also just take it to another level. That's what I see. Everyone's crazy, but there is like a riot, uh, resistance, of protesting, and yeah, I'm not sure what they're protesting.
Mm-hmm. Maybe if you pay attention, listen to what's going on. Maybe you can ask somebody there.
I just keep hearing in French, like I don't know how to say it, but kind of like the resistance, like resist, like resistance. Like there's something that the government or the not the government, but the queens and the kings are trying to do, or the bishops or something that we are not we're up in arms. I don't know what it is. Like no one is there, everyone is just screaming the la resistance, resistance. So it's a bit difficult for me to really find it. Let's see.
Eh, is there any newspapers, any dates coming up?
Let me see. I'm wondering, I think it's actually like a local issue. So
Mm.
I don't feel that this is like global war or anything like that. I think it's like a local issue. Oh, taxes, taxes. The
Protest
taxes.
people protesting taxes
There it is.
in the 19th century, in the 18th century, 19th century. Sorry.
Yes, I think we were being taxed severely, but there was also more as well. So it was going to be like taxes, there was going to be some rules, um and then they were making people very afraid, um like, if you don't do this, then we're going to take your home, and then if you still don't do it, then we're going to take your. So the propaganda was really, really intense. It was really, really. And then of course they had the guillotine, or maybe not the guillotine, but like, we're going to cut your head off, or we're going to cut your arm off. I'm laughing because it's just so
Hmm.
barbaric, but um that's
Yeah, no,
Karina
yeah.
laughing.
Mm.
And but in this life it was like so serious. And I think that the people, I actually feel that the people, I was actually very proud of the town. I said, wow, everyone actually got together to say no, and they don't care. They've, you know, and I
Hmm.
think I felt, even though I was also apprehensive, I also was like, yeah, like, we're right. Like, we are right. Like, these rules, these regulations, these things, like, it's just not, it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, and so there was a lot of this, like, justice sort of, uh, we the people, that's what it feels like.
Parce que there was because there was a resistance movement
There was.
in 1848.
Was there?
Yeah,
Huh.
uh, but and there was La Commune in Paris, and
Wow.
le mouvement de la Commune. It was a big. People were in the streets,
Yes. That's
uh,
that's
and
that's
there were fights in Paris, in Lyon, in Marseille, and there were insurrections.
wow.
So maybe you're talking about that,
Probably.
and
I think so.
there was workers'
Yes.
revolts
Yes. Yes.
because there was a social resistance.
Yes.
So you might be talking about this. So it happened mainly in Paris, Lyon,
Uh-huh.
Marseille. So if you look, do you see mountains or do you see a
So
port or what do you see around? Because that would tell you a little bit about where it is.
I
La Commune was in
feel,
1871 in Paris, so it
well,
was.
when you asked me about the the year, I don't know why I didn't say it, but the number that came to me was 1868,
Mhm.
or like 1869. But I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. So I
Yeah, La
when I
Commune,
came,
the big commune resistance in Paris was
yeah,
71.
yeah. So
So there might
maybe
have been
maybe
movements before.
exactly. I'm pick because you want to know what it is that I'm picking up on a much local pressure. It felt like this small town. So I'm trying to tell you where it is. What I
Mhm.
see is very gray skies. So like, I'm not in, like, we are not by like the beach or anything. It feels more inland. Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't think this is Paris, but I think it gives what Paris is. It gives that energy.
Yeah,
But I
but
think
it's a
they're
big
telling
one
me
of the
it's
big
another,
towns. Yeah,
yeah, it's something
yeah,
inland.
because there were events in 1830, 1848,
Yeah.
1871. So you
Yeah.
said it was in the beginning of the century. So
Yeah.
so
So
it was
maybe,
probably it was probably and you're talking about the government and everything, and it was probably post Napoleon.
yeah. It just, it's so interesting because they were really, really putting a lot of fear in people. And I think that's actually, I remember one of my questions because I was like, why do I have this fear? But because it felt like they would, not felt, they said, we will take everything from you. Like you will have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So the threats, they were using extreme threats to get what they wanted. And I think, again, how fascinating. I actually don't think that there's much more that we need from this life. But what I feel is that for a long time in those days, I was like very afraid, and I felt depression. I just felt like I work, and then you take everything from me, and I have a baby, and the baby's gonna die because I can't pay for the like. So I think I had a lot of resentment. No, I had um a lot of like, what's the point of living? And and the city is so gray and so rainy and so, there's no sun. So I just feel that I had a very depressive life there. But the resist seeing the resistance movement was very cool. And like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
we're actually all decided to say no. That's so fascinating. And they
Yeah.
can't do anything. So it's very interesting.
So that's about a collective movement to react against fear.
Yes. Oh, and I think someone close to me went to prison to be tortured in that life. And that's also like what sent me into depression.
Mm-hmm.
Because they looked at him and said, no, yeah, you were choosing to do this to you. And I don't know if it was my husband. I don't know if it was my brother. I don't know if it was someone close. So if
It was something related to you. It was just not a
very
stand.
related.
It was not
No,
a bystander. Yeah.
no, it was like they took them, maybe my neighbor who I became very close with. But if I feel like it was very specifically a male, like a boy, and they took just because they could. It wasn't even like he was given proper trial, he was given proper anything. So when I saw that happen, I said, oh, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
So
And you were
um
female in that life.
I was a female. I was such a female. I was so quiet. I feel like I was studying to become a nun.
Mm.
And I wanted to be so perfect as well. I wanted to be so pure. And that was really tough for me. It was really tough.
Yeah. So let's move on to another important day in the life of this woman. And what do you see?
Okay. I see, this is a little intense, but I see one of the officials, not the king or not the government, like, but a high ranking sort of like, let's say it's the guy who collects the taxes, but he's, the ultimate tax collector, or like the ultimate mayor or whatever. Him. And he was getting his rights read, but he was going to get killed. And we were all there to watch because, and in some ways, I felt guilty in that life as a nun, as studying to be a nun, or like the pious person in me, because I wanted to forgive him. I wanted to be like, does he deserve this though? But he did do so much to so many people. Um, so I was always very torn of like, am I happy that this man is getting this, sentence because he deserves, or am I, you know, I had this guilt. I didn't know. I think I felt very guilty in that life as a very religious, and like, I was like, I would pray every day to remove the guilt because I saw him do terrible things to people as well. So that's what I see.
Mm.
Um, I just see them reading his rights and last words and all of that. And
Before he was gonna be sentenced.
yes,
Hmm.
and
And that
everybody wanted to watch. So it became a bit of a spectacle because everybody was angry, So
Oh, so that's a little bit of the retaliation of the crowd.
exactly. And that was the guilt.
Yeah, but what happened to the family member that got arrested?
He just disappeared. I think
You
that's
never
what
you never
also
you never saw him again.
I believed he was killed. I made
Mm,
peace with it. But I
mm-hmm.
think maybe it was like my brother. It was very close and it was
Yeah.
very painful. So that's why when I was there watching, I felt so satisfied for a moment, but then I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, I can't feel this way. Um,
Mm.
it was almost like this, yeah, a lot of resentment towards the people of power who hold power, and
Mm-hmm.
especially at the time, what they could do, and what they could do, they could just they had so much power and so many torture tools, and ugh, just not a good time, not a good time period.
Uh-huh.
Not I saw a
So
lot of horrible things.
so the bad guy is executed by the crowd,
Yes.
and you as a nun,
Mm-hmm.
you feel the guilt and the ambivalence about the revenge from your brother for your brother's
Yes.
death,
Yes.
but at the same time, the guilt.
Yes. It was, I think that ate my
Hmm.
soul for
Yeah.
the rest of my life. I don't think I had peace in that life. I don't think I felt,
Mm-hmm.
I was very depressed. Sometimes I feel that life mirrors this one sometimes, where I feel powerless, and I also feel guilt. And it's I felt like it was so guilty for me to have these thoughts. And then I would get mad at myself. And then I would say, no, but I'm on your side. But no, but I'm mad
Mm-hmm.
at myself. It was this mental
Yeah,
battle.
mental battle.
It was tough. And then in the name of religion, in the name of God, in the name of purity, I wanted to go to heaven. So
Mm-hmm.
in the
Uh-huh.
name of being that pure, 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 pure.
Uh,
I was like my perfectionism, it didn't, I did not live a good life. Like I did not have,
uh-huh. Yeah, so that's like a mental torture.
yeah, I was completely mentally
Mm-hmm.
tortured and torturing myself.
Okay, so let's move forward to the last day of the life of this person. What's happening? What do you see?
Oh, so I'm not making this up at all. Like I think I actually started to have mental, but at the time they didn't know how to. I was hysterical. I think they just said that you have hysteria. You're just hysterical because I couldn't, that all of that guilt, and it's sort of, I would have two personalities at some point towards the end. I was probably developing like Alzheimer's, or so everything started to, I would wake up one day and start to like scream and say, I don't want to, I'm a good person, I swear I'm a good person, and then I would switch into like calm. And I think that was very not understood at the time. So then I just see myself the last days. I'm inside of a monastery, but I'm in the section where the crazy people go. Like that's where they would put them. It's almost like an asylum.
Mm-hmm.
So I died in an asylum, but I was like, I think I had a heart attack. I just stopped like, I just see myself screaming. And then I just died. Very interesting. But I was in this room with nothing. So it was very bad. It was a
Uh-huh.
very bad life. I
Well,
didn't know where I
so
was. Yeah, I was like too much stress on my heart, too much
yeah.
tension in that life is what I'm feeling. Like my heart just stopped.
Okay. So now whatever happened has already happened and you're on the
Right.
other side of it. So from that position, you can look back at the entire life and see it from a different perspective. Every life has a lesson and a purpose. So look at the life and what did you learn from it?
I think they said it was a life I would have to revisit because I didn't really, I was supposed to be more courageous in that life. I was supposed to be, but at the same time, it was more so for me to, they're not judging me when they say this, oh, you failed. But it was a life that was a high pressure lifetime. It was like, it's going to be dark. And I said, okay, I will go and I will see how I can evolve.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it was just too much. And then they're showing me that that's what happens to people that have schizophrenia, psychosis, all of those, and more, like all of the mental health, anxiety. I actually had all of those things in that life because reality was too much. It was like I couldn't. Um, I became afraid. I went backwards and I was like, I'm afraid. And so they're showing me that I could have been more courageous. It's like you could look at what you could have done if they came for your brother. You could have just, you know, defended yourself, and you could have gone to the town square and said, this happened to me, and all of these things that I could have done, and that they could have supported me, and that I would have been supported. And maybe I would have been killed, but I would have been Joan d'Arc, is what they're saying. Like Jean d'Arc. Like I would have just
Yeah.
been like, I love myself enough. Kill me,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm proud, And I
Yeah.
just became so afraid. I became the opposite. And I
Mm.
lost myself. Uh
And
I dedicated, they're saying that I dedicated my life to like religion, and they said, well, and then I think I was angry when I crossed over. I said, where's heaven? Like, where is it?
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So,
and
so
so they had
that
to explain.
to explain that it was just a
Yeah.
fabrication.
Yes. And there I was like, are you kidding me? So I think I also took a bit more I needed to, that life helped me laugh a bit more and be like, oh man, okay, like I shouldn't have been so afraid. So they said, come in, uh, like again, and we can solve that for, like, you need to experience a brave life. And I said, okay. So that's what they're showing me, that would be then the next, like, prolonged, I was gonna do it again. We're gonna try again.
Okay. So you were mad because you didn't find heaven when you
Yeah, I
passed.
was so upset. I was like confused. I thought the angels would all like be singing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Like I just hear like the prayers and the hymns and everything. I would sing every day. I would sing every single day. Like I would pray every day. Um, to get to heaven and to get closer to God. And then it was like, what's happening? What is
Yeah.
this? That's not what happens. Which maybe also helped me. I kept that with me, I think, for all the other lifetimes. I said, okay, I think we did the religious thing. I don't think it's,
Yeah. So
I
you
don't,
realize that the religion thing is not really like
it's a
the
waste.
way
I think I was like, this is a waste of time.
a waste of time. So it's not
Yeah.
the way to go for you, for
No,
sure. Yeah. All right. So now let's separate ourselves from the life of that woman. Let's drift away from that life. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving that woman there to continue on her own journey. She will find peace. Now she knows where she's at. She will find what she's supposed to find. We're leaving her there to continue on her own journey. She will find peace. She will find what she's supposed to find. We're leaving her there to continue on her own path. Now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Carina to once again return to the body and fully integrate back in the body. May I speak to Carina's higher self now?
Yes.
Yeah. Before we move on with the questions, and I do appreciate the permission to speak to you, I respect the power of the higher self because I know that it takes care of Carina and does a very good job of it. I also know that the higher self has the records of everything that has ever happened to Karina in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes she's ever lived. So I respect the power of the higher self, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. So, do I have permission to ask questions?
Absolutely.
So, I know that you could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Karina to see today. You chose first to bring forward the lifetime of the first lifetime to see in the prehistoric times. Why did you pick that lifetime?
So it's so I'm Karina, but I'm also many things. That's what I feel to say. And Karina, she thinks everything is random a lot. Oh, oh, random. Oh, this randomly happened. This randomly. Oh, did you know? So he's my higher self sort of mimicking me. But again, she thinks everything is random. So we gave her a very cool beginning reference point in that life was about the origins and so she can have a point of reference instead of thinking everything's so random and up in the air and then time doesn't exist. Yes and no, it exists, but it exists in a very unique way. So that's what I feel to say is we gave her a reference point, very good reference point for the future sessions and all of her future endeavors and healing. Um,
Mm.
so the
Does
it's
it
leave
have
her
to
there
do
to
with
the beginning.
her? Does it have to do with her production activity? That what you're giving her to know and see?
Yes, yes, it all connects together, of course. Sh what happens again, we'll say it one more time. She believes things are random. So even when it comes to her career and what she's doing, even when it comes to what food she's going to eat the next day, it we have to help her understand that everything is connected. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, that lifetime and all the other ones are what made her who she is today to be able to do this now there's a specific mission for her now, so we're just giving her all of the reference points so she can connect those dots and go aha. So that's why uh, I have a fear of taxes. That's why I have dreamt about these reptilian beings, and and yes, there it is. So it's just about reference points, is what
Mm.
he's saying.
Okay, so that's the original point of reference.
Yes.
Yeah. And what about the other life that you chose her in the 1800s France?
So that life was one of the most fearful. She would wake up and tremble in fear. And then on top of that, she was had the fear of God. So you have the fear of the government and the fear of God, the
Mm-hmm.
fear of the guillotine, the fear of the fevers that would happen as well, because there was something about the fevers. It was wake up, fall apart. She couldn't even smell. If you said, Karina, go smell the flowers, or I don't know what her name was. It's a different. Oh, it's not Karina, but she has a name.
Mm-hmm. That
Uh,
girl.
yeah, it'll come. Um,
Mm.
French name, very pretty. Which is it's Karina has a. I have a thing with French, but anyway, I love French everything. But anyway, so if you said go smell the flowers in that life, she could not smell the flower. There was no. She had no sense of
Enjoyment.
enjoyment or even knowing that she has the right to have an ego and enjoy life, but in a good way, and to
Mm.
say no, this is wrong, and to stand up for it,
Yeah.
or to say I because they teach you to fear God and this religious God, but then it makes you so disempowered. You
Yeah.
need so
So what does it have to do with Karina's life now?
well, she wakes I'm not she wakes up the same. I've been waking up the same for all my life, but specifically the last 3-ish years. And that explains why sometimes I just start trembling,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like trying to tell my husband, like, I'm having a panic attack. I don't know why. I feel like I'm scared. I'm just scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, let's go do something. Okay. But deep down, I'm scared. Oh, let me start a podcast. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, so I have to immediately connect fear with that life and let it go. Because if not, I'm going to die and feel the same thing. Like, why was I so afraid? Like,
Mm.
so my higher self, I'm here to say, like, you need to let go of fear completely and
Mm-hmm.
experience what it feels like to be brave. and
Mm-hmm.
and most people, I'm afraid that the people will turn on me, but my higher self is saying, like, people would actually be on your side if you stand up tall. People like that,
Mm.
like people need
Okay.
that, you know um
Okay. So that's very important. That's something that's a message that you're giving
yes,
her that seems to be very important. And I do wonder if it's closely related to what I'm going to ask about next,
sure.
because you know that Karina had a particular relationship with her adoptive mother. So, is there something unfinished between Karina and her mother from another lifetime that is influencing this one?
Yes. And it's yeah, the answer is yes, but it can also be finished. But Karina has to finish it, not Laura. And that's
Uh
been
huh.
the hardest thing for her, is it has to come from her.
What do you mean by finishing?
Letting go. um it almost feels like a mother and a daughter when you
Mm-hmm.
know you have to let them fly away,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
out of the nest. So
Mm-hmm.
even though Laura is the mother,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, it's actually the other way around. Karina has had to be her mother. Um, in this lifetime, in other lifetimes, they have switched roles, but the energy frequency is always the same. That there's a an incompatibility because of natural. It's weird. I'm seeing even the reptilian race, how they're just not capable of empathy, for example.
Yeah.
So they show me Laura as something similar to this, what you would call narcissism. It's just there's a you have to let them go. You have to let them go. You have to understand that they will not ever.
Yeah. So if you make it to make it simpler, because you said there is a
Yes,
repetition of patterns. So what lessons are they meant to learn through each other that way as a recurring pattern that we want to terminate?
yes. So Laura needs to learn limits,
Mm-hmm.
and Karina needs to be the person who gives limits. So
Yeah. So it's
it's
about setting boundaries.
yes,
Mm-hmm. And so why did Karina choose her? Why did she want to learn boundaries with Laura? Or her the consciousness of Laura in other lifetimes, same thing.
same thing. I would say it was time for both of them to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and Karina's path has been more virtuous. It
Mm.
has. And we have to give her the credit because she has been learning to become more virtuous. Laura learned to become more like Joan d'Arc, powerful, me, I. While Karina grew lifetimes learning uh, to let go and be more virtuous, genuinely more virtuous. But one is not necessarily better. The thing is, Karina now has to learn what Laura over uh,
Overdone.
has overdone, and then
Yeah.
Laura actually has to become a more virtuous soul. So
Yeah.
now is their departure point.
So that there is something of the French life also in that over being over
Yes,
virtuous and then missing the assertiveness and
yes,
boundary setting aspect of things.
yes. And so this is why Karina chose this family, because they
Mm.
are all extremely egotistical, and they know. And her grandfather, so her mother's, Laura's father,
Mm-hmm.
built a beautiful empire because he was naturally saying, I deserve, and I want, and I will build, and I will do what I have to do. And there is a lot of strength, but there's also, it's just that they're at surplus. They are that, but they don't know how to share. They don't know how
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. They accumulate wealth, but they don't
Right.
make other people around them benefit from it.
No, and they
Yeah.
also don't know how to connect. I think that's the saddest
Yeah.
part, is
Uh-huh.
they sit in the room with others and have the best dinner, but no one's connecting. No one is actually connecting. It's just, it's so they're in excess. And Karina, in my higher self, I think, is saying, if you knew Karina, you would also be like, yeah, it's time for you to start being more selfish, because
Mm.
it's just excess the other way.
Yeah.
Um,
So then Karina wonders what would freedom from her emotional field finally feel like in her body in this life if she would achieve that.
oh, oh, this is a big question.
Mm-hmm.
So I will give a big
Yeah.
answer. And Karina needs to know that Laura has always been that vibrational match, mirror of her opposite. Laura is exactly in every way, shape, and form her opposite. And it's been this way. It's like a dance.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't been able to confront both of them run away from that confrontation because the confrontation will mean boundaries, separation. And because once one Laura takes, and so what I see is a toddler eating all the cookies and they don't know how to stop. And
Yeah.
Karina gives all of her cookies. So she has no cookies. So what she will feel is finally replenished by her own
Mm.
energy and not, there's no more uh sucking this vacuum. It's gone. And it's
Yeah, I see. So it's all again, it's again the theme of boundary setting that comes again.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, it's a repetitive pattern.
it
Uh-huh.
is. And she, the last thing we'll say about this is she needs to know it's okay to set boundaries. And she need me, Karina, she needs to know that it's okay to ask for what you deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
And
Mm-hmm.
if whatever Laura has taken from you, you have all of the right to ask for it back. If she has done anything, need you need to. That is
Mm.
going to free the energy, and she will start to feel like, oh, maybe I can't do everything that I want.
Yeah.
And
And maybe people would actually hear her more as
yes,
she steps in her power, like the French woman, if she had
yes,
spoken on the on the public square, maybe she would
yes,
have the support of the crowd.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So
And
yeah,
it's
so
I need to get rid of the guilt. No
hmm,
guilt.
so there is a this is the parallel here too
Yes, it
that
is.
you
And
brought.
I would
Thank you for
argue,
bringing this image then,
oh,
because it makes it very clear for Karina to understand the pattern.
yes. And
Mm-hmm.
Laura was probably in that life as well. I feel she was one of the oppressors and the people who would take.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
and
Well,
but
so but
yes,
she
yes,
but the sadness of that life is that it's the that young woman was taking from herself. Nobody was taking from her except from
yes,
taking her maybe a brother or family
yes,
member away,
yes,
but they never
yes,
touched her directly. It seems
yes.
like Karina's incarnation created its own misery.
It did.
Mm,
It couldn't accept that things were, yeah, my exact,
yeah.
you said it perfectly. It was, I created a very bad mental
It's like a mental,
home.
yeah, like a mental prison. Hmm.
Yes.
What
And
is blocking Karina from stepping fully into her authentic path in life?
fear.
Fear of
Uh,
what? That's like, can you elaborate a little bit about her fear?
so think of the nun.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they're afraid something, the devil is in
Yeah.
everything, or don't do this because then something will happen.
Yeah.
Don't do this, or when you die, you won't get your, heaven. And it's that, and that's why that parallel life is,
But the original
it's
life is telling the opposite.
ex- so in this life she's actually in line with truth. And
Mm-hmm.
that's again the truth of the world. uh Religion was also part of what we spoke about before, about they switched everything up and they changed everything to control, mass control. And she, in this life, I am free. Like Karina is free. She's just still thinks she's not free. She still
Yeah.
thinks she's under like a doctrine
Mm.
of
Okay.
purity. And the last thing with that is that this family she incarnated into is also very Catholic.
Pious. Okay.
Yes, but really emphasize like
Yeah. Yeah.
they just
The Catholic
they,
pretense.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So she grew up, and she went to Christian school, and she grew up highly indoctrinated as well, which is the, it's it's tricky.
Yeah.
but it is very much like you're creating the mental prison yourself, Karina. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it all is around the same thing, higher self,
Yes.
but it's good for you to actually articulate even more. Please tell Karina the root of her specific fears that she's carrying in this life.
Again, it's actually quite simple, because Karina has made good progress,
Mm-hmm.
as a soul. As a soul, she's learned many things. She's progressed, and she progressed to this point where you realize uh, you are your prison guard. You are your own prison guard, because
Yeah,
this is the next level to her awakening, soul, because the root is feeling like someone can punish me,
yeah.
something
So
can punish me.
that's the whole theme of what she's been asking. Was she's wondering why her body still reacts as if these threats are real.
Yes, they feel all, and it's accumulation again of lifetimes, and but this one is very good, that this French life is
The epitome of the
the
explanation.
epitome of, and it explains to you how she's been holding this in her body since she was a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah, because
And
she has a feeling still now that she's in jail or going to jail or will be betrayed or something to do with getting in trouble. And
yes,
it can feel, she said it can feel like taxes, friendship betrayal, or being publicly humiliated. So, how
yes,
yourself, that is very clear that this is life two of the nun that you're describing there. So, what do you want Karina to know about her safety in this lifetime?
that is the best follow-up question. And yes, she was betrayed. She was all of those things. The everything you said that she wrote that she wants to know. That is why we brought all of this up. Is all of those things technically did happen, but this is the next level of awakening. Is you realize you created it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and so you have to come to a place now where you see you're afraid of the jailer. You're the jailer. You're afraid of the Laura. Well, you're you're in tandem there, like it's you're putting yourself in that place where she can take from you still. So I'm Karina needs to know she has has unconsciously, but because that's the nature of how reality works, is you create your reality and you create the experiences. So she's her own jailer. So we need her to, this is again, you only arrive here after a lot of work, because most people remain, this happened to me, I don't know why, I'm angry, and
Mm-hmm.
or I'm scared, which is, but she's like, there, she, all of these things have happened so that she can go, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I need to free myself, not wait for permission to free myself, not wait for my spirit guides to be to it's this idea that freedom and uh, this idea that things happen to me and I'm not an active creator here. I am, and
Yeah.
so she needs to remember she's an extremely active creator, and
Mm-hmm.
her life can change tomorrow. And she knows this, but we're saying it. Her life can change in an instant as long as she realizes and decides to step into this next phase, which is the next
Right.
level of Gnosticism. It's the next,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's what
Yeah.
they tried to conceal from the public, and they
Yeah.
succeeded. Um,
You're
is
you're very you you're very direct with her higher self, and I really
Yes,
appreciate your directness and clarity in the communication here. Because I mean, if she doesn't get it now with everything that you're there, that's really like she doesn't want to. But
yes,
but so I think like we've been very clear about that. But now let's look at other dynamics. So she's wondering what is the soul level purpose of her relationship with her husband Pedro. So let's focus on that diet now. Can
Let's do it.
yeah, can they restore the balance and authenticity in their connection? Apparently, she feels like there's something that got lost. So because they felt both spiritually attacked. So why
Yes.
does this happen? What's going on there?
Yes. So they did, they both were attacked. That did happen, of course, because of the light involved. And that's something that she needs to also take to other lifetimes is where there's light, darkness comes. And that's always been the paradigm. It's sort of like black and white and opposites. So what happens, she needs to know about what she needs to know about the relationship is the following is that it's two beings with extreme light capabilities, two souls that have done a lot of work to get to this point, and
Mm-hmm.
to both you and Pedro, especially we're telling you this because Pedro seems very self assured, but deep down, he's just as afraid as you are. So you have to look at him with compassion, even if he doesn't show it. But
Mm-hmm.
both of you are afraid
Okay, so they need to
to,
drop the fear now.
yes, they're both actually afraid to open. But so it's tricky because Karina's more, Pedro gets frustrated at Karina because he's seeing himself, but he doesn't know. But Karina is more fragile. She just starts crying and starts shaking and says, I don't know why. Like, I think some, yeah. And so he has gotten so frustrated because he hasn't been able to see that he's feeling the same way, but he doesn't allow himself. And she gets frustrated with Pedro because when he's extremely like tough and like aggressive and like ma, that's also exactly her, but she doesn't like to look at that either. So it's they both do have to drop their weapons at each other, and they
Mm-hmm.
both have to understand that they were absolutely attacked from the darkness, from uh connected very specifically to her mother and to others, but uh others from his Pedro's life as well. So ex partners, ex relationships. There's one in particular that is very strong, and she sends very bad energy every day. So
Mm-hmm.
they both need to. They were never. It never broke their love. It's just you're both fighting each other because you're both afraid to say that you're very scared.
So
And
can you give Karina some tools to actually become the strong element of the couple?
yes, yes. Well, this hypnosis is a great. Karina is actually the leader of that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Again, never tell Pedro this, but it
Yeah,
is true. Because
the light.
she holds the light
Mm-hmm.
because her life was so dark, and she is this little light keeper. And if you go back in time to their relationship, he found her because of her light. She was holding it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then she gave him back that light that Pedro's only problem is his arrogance. And that is the one thing that he's going to learn in this life because that's his thing. He's a beautiful soul. He's perfect. He's wonderful. He's God. He's from source. This is a man from source. He is the kindest human being. But when it comes to, there's an arrogance that uh, will be, is being, and will be continue to be worked on for him. And for
Mm-hmm.
Karina, she actually needs to get arrogant, but in a way that is helpful and loving. And it's maybe a different word could
Yeah.
be, but they like the word. I like arrogance for her
Yeah.
because she needs to see that she's powerful, that she's amazing, that she's a
Yeah.
good person. It's an arrogance
Yeah.
in
But that
knowing.
that is connected to our next question because um, you need to teach her how to learn to love herself and feel
Yes,
powerful in a physical body in this physical body
Yes.
because she has learned to have such low self-esteem all the time. Please, can you help her see how her to see her own power and beauty, because she's struggling with that.
Exactly. So the biggest thing and the only thing with Karina is that she doesn't want to ever do something wrong or to hurt others because she's a light being. So
Mm-hmm.
when we say be arrogant, she's like, no, don't want to be like think I'm better. And it's like it's not about thinking you're better than other people. That's not right. But you need to think you are a divine creation of source. You have to stand. We are going to give her the tools today to stand and represent divinity. It's about representation. It's not about ego. Uh, oh, I have more than this person, so I'm better. It's not that game. And she grew up with that game. So she has a lot of shame and fear and guilt around that game because of the family. They played that game to this day. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not that game. You are here as a representative of divine energy. And divine energy is not soft like people think. It's like a tornado. It's like a whirlwind, and there's moments of softness, but there's movement. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of truth, and it's sometimes it's strong, and you just think the past life included that to be super like you think being pious is like the most correct thing, and it's just not because it doesn't do anything, and you're gonna end up like that that nun. And we need you to act. We need you to stand up tall. We need you to look in the mirror and feel arrogant, but arrogant for divinity, arrogant for representing truth,
Mm-hmm.
arrogant in knowing who you are and
Mm-hmm.
standing up on the stage and say, everyone can shoot me right now, but I have the right to say whatever I want. and
Yeah.
and understand that we need you to do this because then it will inspire other people.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is our message for her when it comes to actually, they like that word arrogant for her because she just goes too soft. So arrogance is like tough and strong and a little
Yeah.
bit abrasive and just it's good for her. It's
Yeah.
very good for her.
So Karina came into my landscape.
Yes.
So in what way can I support Karina further in our spiritual growth? Because I think our encounter is not random.
No, no. And it is not. And you know that nothing is random. And she's learning that nothing is random. And she's you will have an extremely open sort of pupil in her. And I feel that for her, it is about continuing with hypnosis and continuing with the conversations that are this high frequency, like, you know, it will help remove her from what no longer serves, which is where Laura lives. It's a very uh materialistic world and everything, like there's no real conversations, there's no depth, there's no truth. So she needs to be around people now that are speaking truth and are bold. And you are one of those people who can inspire her and continue to assist her in
Mm-hmm.
opening her throat chakra. She needs to speak.
Okay. So you see that she's gonna go for more sessions in the
Yes,
future.
many more. And she will also be bringing people to you. And she is actually, we use Karina for that a lot. Ins- and she's so silly because if
Mm-hmm.
she looks at her friend group, which is a small friend group, but a
Yeah.
tight, beautiful, strong friend group,
Mm-hmm.
they all follow her around and they do what she does. And it's because she has that quality inside of her and they see her evolving and growing and they want to follow. And
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And
So
you definitely give us strong messages today.
yes,
So It's very clear. Set your boundaries, let go of the guilt, see your light from within. That's a lot of things. But do you have a last message for Karina today?
The last message will be going back to Pedro, her husband, is that
Mm-hmm.
they have been through a lot over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, she needs to know that a lot of that was out of her control, but it was also, she needs to now start looking at it as proof of how strong they are, not of how broken they are. So
Mm-hmm.
she needs to switch her
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so.
And
That's
that's it.
wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much for your explanations and guidance. It's been wonderful. And I'm sure that Karina is really going to appreciate it as I recorded this and she could listen to your advice, your guidance again and again. So now I'm asking you, higher self, to recede to where you belong with much love and much thanks for the help and information you have been giving Karina today.